Hey, welcome to this video. I'm going to talk about energy. I'm going to talk about sexual energy, and I'm going to talk about how to balance feminine energy and masculine energy to help you have better sex, to help you have more meaningful sex, that you're fulfilled with the sex you have, and learn how to have slow sex. I'm not going to get mystical here. I'm talking about energy, and we are made out of energy. Our body is energy. We move because we have energy. And we have sex because we have energy. And the type of energy I'm talking about between masculine and feminine, I'm not talking about genders, not about man and woman, or man is better than woman or woman are better than men. I'm not talking about that. We're talking about energies, and we both, men and woman, have masculine and feminine energy. We have both energies. And we have to balance them out in order to be more stable and to be better in bed as well. Actually, we need vital energy. We need to meditate, we need to exercise, we need to sleep well. If we want to be energetic, we need to do all those things. And that's going to help us have better sex. Sexual energy is the energy that triggers sexual desire, that triggers sexual attraction, that triggers our will to have sex. That's sexual energy. Energy is created in our brain. Actually, our thoughts are energy, and it's energy that starts in our brain. It's a thought, becomes an emotion, and it's energy that we actually use to have sex or to do whatever we want to do. In this case, we're talking about sex, so talking about sexual energy. So some people have more sexual energy than others. We all don't have the same type of energy, like we all are not so energetic. There's people who like to go running and they need to do a lot of activity because they have a lot of energy. That happens also with sexual energy. There's people who need more sex than others. And it's not right or wrong, it's just the fact that some people are more sexual than other people and they have more sexual energy. The good thing is that you can generate sexual energy if you want, because you can do things that are going to activate that energy. For example, if you do Kegel exercises, if you do pelvic exercises, there's some breathing and some movements that you can do, or like Kegel exercises where you contract the muscles that are in the genital area, you activate your genitals, and suddenly you feel like you're having more sexual energy. Suddenly you feel a warm sensation down in your genitals, and you're liberating sexual energy and the will to have sex. It also happens with your attitude. Your attitude can help you be more sexual. If you have a sensual attitude, you know those people that you look at them and they transmit sexuality and sensuality, sort of like, they arouse your sexual instinct. There's people who actually portray that type of energy. And that's by the way they dress, the way they speak, the way they look at. I'm going to talk about that in the sensuality skills video, but there's people who actually do that, and it's an attitude thing as well. So you can be more sexual and you can have more sexual energy, you can train that and you can actually activate it. So there's two types of sexual energy: the masculine energy, which is the direction, the domination, the conquering, the hunting, the possession. And then we have the feminine energy, the feminine sexual energy, which is the loving, embracing, caring, nurturing. These two things are energies. They're different. And we can see that, you can take that back to instincts. The man from many thousands of years ago, the man is in charge of going hunting and providing, and the woman is in charge of taking care and loving. And that is translated also to the sexual energy. The man has to penetrate the woman, conquer the woman, and the woman receives, holds, cares. It's the same. It's exactly the same. So which are some of the aspects of masculine energy? Fast arousal, domination, very visual, starts sex, focus on ejaculating, and normally too fast and too quick, and wants to be in control. And that's what it is when we talk about sex. Masculine energy is that. So which ones are the aspects of the feminine sexual energy? Slow sex, caressing, kissing, touching, waiting to be aroused, waiting to be seduced, enjoying the sensations, long sexual sessions, deep orgasms, slow orgasms. That's the feminine sexual energy. So it's like a polarity. We have the masculine energy here and we have the feminine energy here. There are two, one on this side and one on the other side. You as a man or you as a woman have both energies. You do have those two energies. Even if you're a woman, you also have the masculine energy. And a man has the feminine energy as well, because a man can be vulnerable as well. A man can be touching, can be loving, can be kissing, can be taking care of, can be nurturing if he wants to, can be vulnerable if he wants to. And the same thing with woman. Woman can also take decisions, take control, and so on. We both have two energies. We do. So what does this have to do with sex? It has to do with sex if a man only has masculine energy, fast, wants to have sex fast, ejaculate fast, dominate, visual, strong, not caring. If it's only that, he's going to have sex like in porn movies, like really quick, and there's not going to be any thoughts about the other person, doesn't care about whether she has the orgasm or not, and it's going to be very fast. It's going to last very, very little, and it's dominating and it's controlling. If a man only has this energy, he's going to be a poor lover, because that's the only thing he's going to be able to do. Now, he has to integrate this type of energy, the feminine energy, in his own sexuality. And of course, you can have sex like that every now and then. That's great. I'm not saying no, but you need to be able to integrate this part where you're loving, where you're caring, where you can do slow sex, when you care about the other person and you can have sex for an hour. For that, you have to balance your sexual energies. You have to balance your masculine and your feminine, and you have to have both. You have to be able to be slow, touching, and caring, and you can also be strong, dominating, and controlling. You have to be able to have both. And this is the main message of this video. Need to balance these two energies in your life. And why do I talk about energies? Because it's a great way to illustrate it. You see, I'm putting these roles, the man role and the woman role, going to the extremes of the feminine and the masculine, the guy and the girl. Well, if you want to be a good lover, also for woman, I'm talking about men here, but women also have to have some of that masculine energy as well. If a woman is just laying there and it doesn't take control or responsibility of her own orgasms, and is always waiting to be seduced, and is always waiting and doesn't have any energy that actually wants her to also take control and say, hey, I want to have an orgasm, I'm going to take control now. And I want to have hard sex sometimes as well. If she doesn't do it either, you're going to stay in the polarities and you're not going to have very good sex. So if you want to be a really good lover, you must balance these two energies. You must be able to do both things. You must be able to go from here and to go there, and be able to really express the two energies that you actually already have. And for some men, it may be difficult to actually open themselves up, to open themselves to vulnerability, to open themselves to show their emotions, because at the end, the feminine energy is about showing emotions and being vulnerable. The masculine energy is about dominating, controlling, and being strong and having the direction. So, balancing both of them. That's the goal here. And this video is just to illustrate you the two of them, and because this course is all about how to connect, and the only way to connect is if both actually develop both energies. You see, a woman normally takes 20 minutes to get aroused to be able to have a really deep orgasm. So a man, normally if he's on the masculine side and he's like really fast and he's only thinking about ejaculating, he's going to be done in 5 minutes. And the sex is going to be really bad. See, when a man is always having sex from a very masculine energy, where he's always rough, tough, quick, always thinking about ejaculating and having his way, he's definitely going to be a bad lover. Not many women are going to like that. Not many women are going to be satisfied with a man like that. I can promise you that. There needs to be a balance. Something that can also happen is that a woman has too much masculine energy. So the opposites can also happen. They can actually swap. Let me put you some examples of for example, women that have a lot of masculine energy and women that probably have a lot of power, women that act very strong, they don't show their emotions, they act like if nothing can hurt them, they speak loud, they're very authoritative, very hard, very strong. These type of women have a very high level of masculine energy, very, very high. And they can translate that into sex as well. They can use that masculine sexual energy in sex. Actually, you probably heard this before. This is a stereotype, but women that act like men in bed, normally they have very, very strong masculine energy in general in their life. And also with men that have very, very high doses of feminine energy. That happens a lot. You know, those men who are soft, they don't make decisions, they speak very, very soft, they're very sensitive, they cry often, things like that. That's very strong feminine energy. And yes, you might think, hey Charlie, these are stereotypes. Well, that's what the energies are. These are energies. We are talking about energies. And that's what you have. We all have that. You also have that. Maybe you have a balance, maybe you have a little bit higher masculine, lower feminine. Depends on you, on your personality. So how do you balance this energy? How can you yourself balance this energy so that actually they are working at the same level and that you can be a good lover in every term? Balancing the energies, first of all, do the exercise that I have made for this special video, where you find out which energy is stronger in you. And once you find out which is the one that's dominating in you, whether it's the masculine or the feminine, and here I'm talking about sex, okay? Normally your energy, the masculine energy, feminine energy in your general in life is normally translated into sex. So if you have a very high masculine energy in your life in general, you're a very strong decision-making person, and you have a lot of masculine direction energy, normally in sex you probably be the same. It doesn't have to be, but normally you will be the same. And the same thing with the feminine. If you're too feminine, you probably in sex will be very feminine. It doesn't have to be, but it's normally so. Now, how do you balance those? Each of us is different. Our personality is different. For me, what works best is to do things that make me balance those energies. For example, if I'm a very feminine person, I am, for example, myself, I have a very high level of feminine energy. Why? Because for whatever reason, that's my personality, and I'm very empathetic, and I'm very sort of like emotional, and for me, I work more on getting more the masculine energy up. And how do I do that? Doing things related to masculine energy. Make decisions, take control, even if I'm not comfortable taking the control. Making decisions, I'm not so comfortable making decisions, I do make the decisions. I make myself make the decisions, whether I'm right or not. I get out of my comfort zone, basically, and whatever you don't like doing in terms of this type of energies, I'll do them. You have to commit yourself to do these things. That's the only way to do it. That's how you balance those energies. And that way you, for example, if you're not very much the one that takes control or starts sex, for example, if you're not the one that masculine energy of starting sex, it's normally men who are more seeking sex all the time. So if you're not that type, if you're a man and you're not that type, you're always sort of like waiting, okay, if she wants, I'll do it, but I'm not going to bother her. Get yourself out of that zone and say, okay, I'm going to have sex. I'm going to start sex. That doesn't mean that you impose things, but you start it. You make things happen. That's an example, and that with everything. And same thing in the other way. If you're a man that always wants to have sex very rough and tough and easy and fast, you have to make yourself go to the other side. You have to start doing slow sex. Work on doing slow sex. Work on kissing more. Work on touching more. Work on doing long foreplays. Work on giving yourself to the other person to help her have the orgasm as well, to be there for her. Work on that. So it's a matter of working on it, of getting out of that comfort zone and actually committing and making a conscious decision. I'm going to do this like this. So I'm not, next time I'm going to have sex, I'm not going to just go and put her on the floor and have sex and that's it. In 5 minutes, I'm gone. No, next time you're going to lie her in bed, you're going to start kissing, touching, caressing, you're going to do some foreplay, oral sex, whatever you want to do, and you're going to do sex very slow, feeling, having that sensation, slow sex. That's how you work on your energies, doing exactly the opposite of what you normally do and something that you know it's not balanced. That doesn't mean that you have to always do slow sex. You can do hard sex every now and then, and you can mix both, and you can also make sure that you are aware of that and that you care for that person's feelings, sensations, and so on. So it's a matter of balancing both of them. Being strong enough to have the direction and have the strength to make decisions and take over and control, and also have the strength and the power to let your feelings come out, let your emotions show, and care for the other person, take care of the other person, embrace the other person, and get that feminine energy out. So it's a balance of both. That's the best way to be a great lover. I'm talking to you guys most here. If you want to be a good lover, make sure you get your feminine energy up if you want to have a long-term relationship. If you just want to have a one-night stand, you don't have to do anything of this. But if you want to have a long-term relationship and be with a person for a long time, make sure you do this. If not, trouble will come ahead. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gets something to you, because I know this energy thing, some people might say, well, Charlie, what are you talking about? I hope it gets to you. I hope you get the clear picture of what I'm trying to say, and I will see you in the next one.